I think part of the process of letting go is letting go of the things that no longer serve you, whether that's friends, partners, jobs, religions, whatever it is. I think sometimes we hold on to things so tightly that we don't allow anything else to flow into our hand because it's closed. It's a closed fist because we're holding on so tightly to the things that do not serve us. So letting go and opening up your hand, right? In order to let go, you have to open up your hand. You have to loosen your grip. You have to stop clinging. And in order to grab hold of something else and for something else to flow into your life, your hand has to be open. Your hand has to be open to receive. Your hand has to be open to grab and seize the opportunity that comes your way. So I think letting go is a big part of moving forward, right? Like, it's easy. You would think it's easy to move forward when something's been taken from you, but we can still cling and hold on to the thought of something. And the thought of how good it was, or the thought of maybe what your life would be like without it. But even when something's been taken, you also have to make the deliberate effort to stop holding on to it, to stop clinging and to let go. So as I move forward, I am focusing on having an open hand so that I can receive, having an open hand so that I can grab and seize the next opportunity that I know is flowing my way. So that's one of the things. The second way to move forward is to indulge in knowledge and growth, carrying a growth mindset. A growth mindset is when you see things as opportunity, or you see things as having the potential to grow, including yourself, right? So I can have a growth mindset by saying like, oh, I don't know how to ride a bike, but I believe that I can learn how to ride a bike, and therefore I'm going to try to ride a bike, and I eventually will learn how to ride a bike, right? Like, that's a growth mindset. A closed mindset, or not having a growth mindset, is I don't know how to ride a bike. I'll never know how to ride a bike. I can't learn how to ride a bike, and I'm just gonna live my entire life not riding a bike. So as I'm heading into this really phase, right, or next chapter in my life, I'm focusing on carrying a growth mindset. Like, all of the things that I want to learn, all of the things that I'm going to learn on this journey inevitably, right, because life be lifing. I am open to receiving that growth and that learning opportunity. Also, like, I'm seeking out knowledge, so reading a lot of books, reading articles, also just being in nature. Like, you learn a lot from just being outside around people, observing, like opening myself up to receive the knowledge that I know I'll need to move forward. Having a growth mindset and being willing to lean into the things that make me uncomfortable, the things that are outside of my comfort zone, the things that will force me to grow. So carrying a growth mindset is the second way I am moving forward. The third thing, and probably the most important thing, is like not carrying this guilt of, or maybe the better word for it is not carrying shame, right? Like, not carrying shame around, like, no longer working this job, no longer making this amount of money, and instead seeing it as an opportunity to continue to experience life, right? But maybe it looks different for the moment, or it looks different for a sustained amount of time. So I've been making the effort and saying yes to the things that feed my soul, like going to an art gallery, traveling. Like, I feel like it's important, as you focus on moving forward, to also not deny yourself, and also not allow yourself to get in this shame bubble where you put yourself into this shame bubble and you don't want to be seen, right? You make yourself smaller. You kind of go in hiding because you're shameful, or you don't want to be seen by other people in the state that you're in.
How was New York?
New York was great.
You ready to, you ready for the party?
But I've been embracing it. I've been going out, traveling, catching some art, eating some nice meals, eating at restaurants that are high rated and Michelin star restaurants. Like, I know that's a privilege, and it's a privilege that I do not take lightly, but I also think it's so important to not take those experiences away from myself. because of this moment. I think you have to continue to live life as much as you can, right? Reasonably. And of course, like within your budget and the boundaries that you've set for yourself. But once you've made that decision, it's important to continue to move forward and like experience things, get outside, get into nature, travel, spend time with friends, laugh. Like, life is not over because you hit a bump in the road, right? So continuing to step outside of that shame bubble, and be seen, right? Like, continue to live the big life that you have dreamt for yourself and that you are living. Like, everything that you believe that you can have, you have right now. Some of it hasn't manifested into real life, but you have it right now. And the more you embrace, the more that you lean in, the more you actually experience it. So that's the third way I'm moving forward. The fourth way that I'm moving forward is indulging in some self-care. I think over time, self-care has become an excuse to overindulge, an excuse to consume more, an excuse to buy more things. But I see self-care as a means of pausing, like pausing and journaling and indulging in self-reflection feeds my soul so much. And it also gives me a solid ground and peace, right? It gives me a solid ground. Like when I can just thought dump, when I can just get all of the things in my head onto paper, it's so helpful for me in moving forward because now I have a clearer mind. I don't have all these jumbled up thoughts in my brain. I also have a clearer perspective. My journaling practice happens every morning as soon as I wake up after my meditation. My meditation is about 10 minutes. But self-care for me is my journaling practice. Self-care for me is pausing long enough to self-reflect, long enough to understand my thought process, understand the feelings and the emotions that I'm feeling. And I'm able to do that through paper, right? I'm able to do that through journaling. So leaning into journaling, making sure that it is a priority, because not every day do I want to do it, but I know it is so good for me. And so in order for me to move forward, I need to clear my mind. And I do that through journaling. That wraps today's video. I am so incredibly excited that you're here, that you watched to the end. I hope this is helpful for you. I'm moving forward. I'm practicing all 6 of these things. And so I hope they are helpful for you and that you will do the same. Subscribe to the channel. I'm dropping here once again every Thursday. I know things will get better over time and there will be even more advice, honey. And so thank you for being here. I hope you feel inspired when you leave here, and I'll see you next time.